Island. This is the Visitor Center.
Hey. I hear you loud and clear, Ranger Lauren. Hey, everybody. And thank you all for joining us today for this extra special broadcast of Channel Islands Live. My name is Kelly Moore, and I am a park ranger and marine biologist here at Channel Islands. Today, we partner with National Geographic in celebrating both today and tomorrow the National Parks BioBlitz in Washington, D.C. And thanks to our wonderful partners at the Ventura County Office of Education, as well as Explore.org, we have some wonderful audiences today joining us. I would like to welcome all of our first graders there at the Visitor Center in Ventura Harbor. Hi, boys and girls. I'd like to welcome our Facebook audience. There you are, I heard you. Thank you for saying hello. We also have some folks who've tuned in over Facebook, which is new and exciting for us. And we also have an audience all the way back in Washington, D.C. watching today. So welcome, everyone. Today we are diving underwater around Anacapa Island, which is one of the 5 islands in Channel Islands National Park. And it's within these waters that exists a very complex, very diverse, and unfortunately threatened ecosystem. Okay, it's a forest that lives underwater. This question goes out to my first graders in Ventura. Go ahead and shout out if you know the answer to this. What type of forest are we diving in today? Yay! Good job. You got it, a kelp forest. And this kelp forest is home to nearly 1,000 different marine organisms. And this particular kelp forest we're diving in today is extra special because we are in a marine reserve. That means these waters we're diving in have been protected from fishing or the take of any kind for over 30 years. So you get to witness today a very healthy, functioning ecosystem with all the players of the food web present. It's a big treat for us both. So in today's program, we are going to talk a little bit about the kelp forest. We'll show you some of the inhabitants that live down here and how they talk about how they interact in this intricate web of life. We'll touch on some current threats to this system and ways that you and I can help take care of it so we can enjoy it now and also for future generations to enjoy. So let's get started. So kelp, we'll talk about kelp first. Giant kelp, it's called, is a type of seaweed or algae. And often people refer to it as a plant, although it's not a plant. But it's very well adapted for living in the marine environment. Kelp has these very bendable or flexible stipes that allow it to move around with the motion underwater. It also has these air-filled bladders here that act a lot like a balloon, lifting the kelp up towards the surface because much like a plant or a tree that you're more familiar with on land, kelp does need something that's shining down from up above to survive. What is that, boys and girls there in Ventura? What do you think is shining down from up above? You guys are very sharp. Good. The sun. Yes, kelp needs that sun. itself to grow. In fact, it's one of the fastest growing organisms on the planet. Under perfect conditions, kelp can grow up to 2 feet in one day. And while it's growing, it's also producing oxygen for everything that lives down here in the kelp forest, but also for you and I. Over half of the oxygen that we breathe every day comes from the seaweeds in our ocean. So kelp's a very, very important type of seaweed to us all. Well, enough talking about kelp. Let's drop down and see if we can't find an inhabitant of the kelp forest that relies on kelp, maybe even eats kelp. And as we swim down and I try to get the attention of my dive buddy, I would love to, Ranger Lauren, if we've got any questions from our Facebook audience, I'd love to take a quick question from them.
Oh, hold on one second, Kelly.
Okay, no problem. We can come back to you.
We do have a question. Hold on, but it's from one of our students in the audience.
Okay, go ahead. I'll take that.
Isaac, are you scared of sharks?
I heard the word shark, but that's about all I got.
Isaac asked if you are scared of sharks.
I'm not afraid of sharks. In fact, I love to see sharks in the ocean environment. They're a really important part of the food web, and without them, everything would be off balance. So I love to see sharks. And we may get lucky today and see one, so keep your eyes open. But in the meantime, I have a type of animal that's not very closely related to a shark, but it does live here in the kelp forest. If you guys know the name of this animal, go ahead and shout it out. Nope, I don't hear anything. Maybe you've heard the word sea urchin before. These are both sea urchins. Here's a purple sea urchin and a red sea urchin. And they're very well adapted to living down here as well. They are full of spines. And as little bits of kelp drift around in the water column, they get speared on those spines. And then the sea urchins use their little tube feet to move the kelp into their mouths underneath their bodies. You might be able to see them right in the middle there.
Yes, we're getting a great view of that.
So, good. Kelp does eat, sea urchins do eat kelp. And you know what? This might be a surprise to you. We eat sea urchin, believe it or not. There's a type of sushi known as uni that comes from sea urchins. And so they're one of the top 5 animals that are caught out here at the Channel Islands for food. And in some areas, we see very few of this red sea urchin because it's the one that's eaten. Purples are too small and they're not eaten for food. So in those areas, we don't see as many red urchins, but we see lots of purple urchins because there's more food for them. And in these areas, if we also take away their predators, like the lobster and the California sheephead, all of a sudden we have an explosion of purple urchins and what we call an urchin barren, where the purple urchins have eaten all of the kelp around. So you can see how it's really easy to offset the balance of an ecosystem by removing parts of that food web. That's an example of why this marine reserve is so important, because all of the members of the food web are present, helping to keep this place functioning naturally. So I'm going to go ahead and put this guy back down. I see see a sea urchin predator swimming around me right now, so I want to make sure to stick this guy back in a crack so it's protected down here. And as I do, I know my dive buddy's gone out and collected something else for us to show you today. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. You've outdone yourself, Ranger Dave. Thank you. Okay. We talked about him just a second ago. What kind of animal am I holding here today, folks? Let's hear it, Ventura. I think I heard shark in there amongst a lot of other words. And you've got it right. This is what we call a horn shark. You can see on the top of its body has little horns right by the front of the dorsal fin. What a beautiful, beautiful animal. This is almost as big as these horn sharks get. So what a treat for all of us to get to see them here. And they rely on the kelp forest too. The food they like to eat is here, including crabs, clams, snails. But they usually tuck into cracks and crevices during the day and come out at night to feed. So it's a little sleepy and it's not moving around very much, probably because it's a little shocked to be awake during the day. But if I put it down, my cameraman Josh, if you can follow me down towards the bottom, you can see how well it camouflages to the seafloor. It really blends in, helping protect it from predators as it swims around. What a beautiful, beautiful shark. You can see why there's nothing to be afraid of when it comes to beautiful horn sharks like these. They're just one of about 17 different species of sharks that we have here at the Channel Islands. And they all rely on the kelp forest too, in some way or another, for survival. Okay, I'm going to give this back to Ranger Dave so he can tuck him back in a crack and you can finish up your nap. Thanks, horn shark. Okay, let's take a quick question, Lauren. Does anybody from our Facebook audience have a question for me?
We do have a Facebook question.
You do? Good.
They want to know what degree you have.
Oh. Well, thanks for that. My degree is a bachelor's degree in biological sciences. In this field, it's good to have some sort of higher level degree in biology, conservation biology, fishery science. It really makes a big difference. Oh boy, look who's trying to steal the show. We have two beautiful kelp forest fish behind me. The California sheephead, which is the bigger of the two, the pink, gray, and white fish. One of the largest fish you'll see here today in the kelp forest. We've also got a Garibaldi. I thought I saw that one swimming around, that bright orange fish. Josh is going to try to chase that sheephead as best he can. Now, sheephead, here's an interesting fact about these guys. They are all born female, and as they age and get bigger, they turn into males. And the reason for that is based on, there's another one, another male. You can tell it's a male because it's got a pink band down the middle of its body. The females will miss that, will not have that pink band or that white chin you can see in the front of their head. But they turn into males because they become sort of the territorial guardian of a certain area as they get older. And Josh is really trying to get some good shots for you of these fish swimming around us. Are you guys able to see that fish there?
We are seeing that bright orange fish.
Good. That is the California state marine fish, the Garibaldi, a fish that's protected no matter where you are in California. It's a beautiful bright orange fish, very charismatic. It's hard to find a picture of a kelp forest that doesn't include that big, beautiful fish. Well, good. I'm glad you got to see a few different critters. And you can see how they all rely on the kelp forest in one way or another for survival. Now, we're witnessing this very balanced, healthy environment today because of the marine reserve we're diving in. But there are some important threats to this system that I want to talk about with you today. Do you guys know any threats to our ocean or have heard of any threats to our ocean?
What do you think?
I forgot.
Maybe even our Facebook viewers have something to add.
How do you...
Do you have a threat? Something that would hurt the ocean?
Exactly. Something that might harm the ocean.
Hi, Kelly. Pamela from Facebook says, what is the pollution radiation levels like there?
The pollution radiation levels. Well, there are some science groups that come out here to the Channel Islands and collect kelp to record radiation levels or detect any radiation levels. And as far as I know, they haven't detected anything that is alarming, at an alarming level yet. But I know current research is happening on that right now at the Channel Islands, and so far we're looking good. That's a great example of a threat, though. Others include just pollution in general. The plastics, oil spills, those are very real threats. Climate change, as the temperature of our planet continues to increase, so does the temperature of our ocean. And kelp really prefers very cool water to thrive in. And so that presents a threat to our kelp forests. Ocean acidification is another threat. The more carbon dioxide that is absorbed by our ocean, the more acidic our seas become. And that presents a problem for a lot of critters down here that don't like a very acidic environment. So these are some very real threats that we should all be aware of. However, all is not lost, okay? There's a lot of things that you and I can do to help protect the health of the kelp forests. I have some ideas, but does anybody on Facebook or in our Ventura audience want to share some of yours with us?
My name is Maddie, and I wanted to say that sea urchins can sometimes, if there's too many sea urchins in the ocean, they can make underwater deserts.
I caught some of that, sweetheart. I appreciate your answer very much. It's hard for me to hold my breath that long and listen. Every time I breathe, I can't hear anymore. But thank you for that. Very, very good answer. You know, some other ways that you and I can help is by doing simple things like using less plastic, drive less and walk more, ride our bike more, participate in beach cleanups. These are all little ways that you and I can help. And if we combine all of these efforts, we can have some big impacts on improving ocean health. And it's really important because everything we do on land affects the health of the sea, and everything we do to the sea then affects the health of all of us on land. We're all connected, okay? So, in today's program, we got to see kelp. You got to talk a little bit about the critters that call the kelp forest home. We got to talk a little bit about threats and ways that you and I that can help take care of our oceans. Become ocean stewards, right? That's a really important word for all of us to take home today is become an ocean steward, somebody who cares about the environment and wants to do something to help protect it, right? Because we're all connected and we all rely on the ocean for recreation, as a food source. And remember that oxygen you and I breathe every day comes from the seaweeds in our oceans. So in light of that, take a big deep breath with me. And please do your part in helping protect our oceans for all of us today, as well as future generations to enjoy. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a wonderful dive for us. I hope you've enjoyed it on your end, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.